If procrastination is your default setting when it comes to getting things done with ADHD, you're not alone. In fact, if you've ever thought, I can't seem to get started until it's urgent, I want you to know that actually makes a lot of sense because urgency does make boring or overwhelming tasks more stimulating. And for ADHD brains, that dopamine spike is what finally makes it possible to move. So, yes, procrastination can work. But here's the truth that no one talks about. Relying on procrastination all of the time is actually bad for your ADHD brain and your nervous system. Let's talk about why. So, first, let's validate something right away. If you've been using procrastination to get stuff done, it's because it worked. That last minute adrenaline hit, it made things interesting. It gave you focus, motivation, urgency, all things the ADHD brains struggle to access without some form of stimulation. And for a while, this strategy may have felt kind of brilliant. You put things off until the pressure kicks in, and then boom, hyper focus to the rescue. You meet the deadline, you push through. But what happens after? You crash. Your nervous system crashes, and the cycle starts again. Here's what I want you to know. Living in a constant loop of procrastinate, panic, push, crash is dysregulating your brain and your body. That urgency you're using to get started, it's actually activation of your fight or flight response. And while it might get the task done, it also trains your brain to associate work with survival stress. Over time, this can make it even harder to start the next task because your brain isn't just bored, it's bracing for another crash. And when that becomes a pattern, here's what else can happen. You start to distrust yourself. Why can't I just do things on time like everyone else? Your to-do list becomes a minefield of anxiety. You get stuck in freeze or shutdown more often because your nervous system is exhausted. And eventually, even the adrenaline doesn't kick in, so nothing gets done. And then the shame spiral hits hard. So, yeah, procrastination works until it doesn't. And it's not just about productivity, it's about how your brain and body feel in your life. So, I want to pause for a moment and just say if this is resonating and you're realizing that procrastination is no longer sustainable for your brain or your life, I want to invite you into Ascend, the ADHD Women's Mastery Program. This is my high-touch program that includes a lot of one-to-one coaching from me in private sessions where we do the deeper work, regulating our nervous system, working with your ADHD instead of against it, and building a way of living that helps you get things done without burning out. You can find the link to Ascend in the description. All right, let's keep going. One of the sneakiest things about the procrastination cycle is that it feels like a personality flaw, when really, it's just a brain looking for dopamine. The ADHD brain isn't wired to respond to low stimulation tasks like update the spreadsheet or call the dentist. So we wait until the deadline creates just enough urgency to generate stimulation. But here's the kicker. The more we reinforce this habit, the more our brains learn to wait. And that means it becomes harder and harder to act without pressure. And it's not because you're lazy or broken, it's because your brain adapted to survive. But that adaptation is no longer serving you. And the good news? Habits can shift. Neuroplasticity is real, and you don't have to live in crisis mode forever. So if not procrastination, then what? So here are two powerful shifts that can help support your ADHD brain without the burnout. One is regulate your nervous system. Before you even reach for your to-do list, take care of your nervous system. You don't need to know how right now, but know that regulating yourself helps your brain access focus and clarity without needing a crisis. And for sure, in my other videos on my channel, I talk about how. So you can seek those out. Number two, make tasks stimulating in ADHD-friendly ways. ADHD brains need interest and stimulation, so give it to them on purpose. Try novelty, like do your work in a new environment or try a different method. Add creativity by adding music or color or storytelling to the task. Sometimes even different color pens can do it. Add connection. Use body doubling or co-working or share your plan with someone else. Or invite in, create a challenge or competition. Time yourself. Set a mini goal or reward yourself when you're finished. You don't need to earn your way to motivation with stress. You can create it with support, compassion, and intention. So yes, procrastination works, but it works like caffeine at 10 p.m. It gets the job done now and leaves you wrecked later. The good news is there are other ways that work just as well. Ways that work with your ADHD brain instead of pushing into a panic and crashing later. If this landed with you, leave me a comment below and let me know. What's one way procrastination has shown up in your life lately? And what's one new thing you want to try instead? And if you're ready to step out of the cycle entirely, check out Ascend. It's where we stop surviving, work with the underlying issues, and start creating systems that actually fit your brain, your body, and your life. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.